sessions of the 6-minute drill. Boys.
Summer sesh.
Summer sesh. Recently it was Father's Day. We thought it'd be appropriate to talk about maybe some favorite dad moments in sports, either for you personally or maybe some sporting events that involved people's fathers in some sort of inspirational way. So, Cousin Kyle, with the shades, why don't you get us in here?
It's hot out there. You gotta, protect yourself. Anyway, I think for me personally, what I love so much about sports is the connection it brings with my father. My dad and I have been going. He took me to sporting events when I was a little kid, and we still try to go whenever we can. Even now, as me being a almost middle-aged adult, and in particular, when I was 12 years old, my birthday present was I went to school with a girl whose dad actually played at Michigan. And obviously being from Cincinnati, that wasn't maybe as common as maybe Brandon experienced. And so they had season tickets, and they gave us, for my birthday, I'm assuming my parents bought them from them, but we got these tickets. It was Michigan Northwestern in 1997. And, obviously that was national championship year. Just a very special moment for me and my dad. And then just kept going back. We've been to maybe not every single year since then, but we've tried to. And so, just any sporting event with my dad. And now that my son is at an age where, he's now able to really enjoy it. Last summer we took him to his first Reds game, and it was a great game. It was against the Cubs. It was July 4th weekend, and the Reds won 3-2. The Cubs went up 2-0, but the Reds came back. Joey Votto hit a home run, and then he scored the game-winning run. I mean, it was the 7th inning, so it wasn't a walk-off, but that was it was an amazing game, great game for him to experience. So
love it.
And then sort of outside of myself, I think, especially being a dad, if you've ever seen that clip from the 1992 Summer Olympics when this guy Derek Redmond was running the 400-meter dash, he tore his hamstring, and he was just, he collapses, and his dad comes out of the stands and picks him up. And it's really funny if you pay attention to that clip. There's these Olympic officials kind of coming out to tell his dad, you can't do this, and he just shoos him away, right? He's like, get out of here. My son is finishing this race, even if he's disqualified, whatever. He worked to get to this moment, and I think that is just one of the most beautiful moments. And I think that's what fatherhood should be when it comes to sports, right? Obviously, you want your kids to love it, to have fun. You want to be there for them. You don't want to be some terrible, nag, right? You don't want to be this person that makes them hate sports later in life. You want to be there to pick them up and encourage them. So I think that's one of my favorite father-son moments in all of sports.
That was nice. I think that clip is one of 5 clips that when it's on, I try to busy myself. I'm like, well, I'm not going to get invested. It's emotional, so I will do the dishes. Is my reaction to that. But yeah, it's an incredible thing. Yeah,
I love that. No, that is definitely one of those moments. How many times have you seen that in a, inspirational talk or something, or devotional, or Father's Day tribute or something? It is classic, iconic. If you've never watched it, go do yourself a favor and get a box of tissues.
Yeah,
and enjoy that moment, because it is a beautiful thing.
That's good.
Love it, Cousin Kyle. Love it. And I love, obviously, always the tie-in for Michigan sports. Who was the Northwestern's quarterback in that game against Michigan?
Gosh, I can't remember the quarterback.
Wait, what year was that?
That was 97. I think Autry, was it Darnell Autry was the running back?
He was a stud. He was so good.
He was. They were at the Rose Bowl.
The year prior to that or after that?
Oh my gosh, yeah. So that was
Gary Barnett was the coach.
95, 96.
Yeah.
They won the Big Ten.
It was
the first time, forever. 96 was, I think, the first like soul crushing loss I experienced as a Michigan fan, because they were up like 16-0 in the fourth quarter and they lost 17-16 or something like that. It was just awful. So yeah, I'll have to maybe look that up and see. Tim Hughes, it looks like. Tim Hughes.
Wouldn't.
Yep.
Nope. Don't know who that is.
I know Tim Hughes. He was a worship leader.
Yeah.
Here I endorse it.
Adrian Autry was the running back's name.
Adrian.
Wow. And I've seen a couple of games with you and your dad, and I got to say, good guy to watch a game with.
Is he a rowdy
we were
guy?
2-0.
Is he a rowdy guy?
2-0 in Bloomington we were.
Rowdy guy
yeah.
or focused? Or does he
Both.
bring in the headset?
No, he's
Like
not a
the
headset
play-by-play?
guy.
Okay.
He's
Okay.
he's weird to describe. I don't know.
Okay.
He's just a dad.
He enjoys it.
He enjoys it. Yeah, he had fun. He loves going. He's come to a couple games with Nate, myself, and some other friends, and yeah, he's real funny about it.
It's good days. Nate, what do you got for us? Father's Day, whether personal or just in general in sports.
Yeah, how about this tenderness podcast we got going on?
Tenderness.
Try a little tenderness.
Hey, we love deeply
Little dad.
on this podcast.
Little
do.
dad moments here.
Especially dads.
Yes, we do, Kyle. Oh, my goodness. Just like cousin Kyle did, a couple, starting with personal, as a dad, one of my favorite moments with my dad. Barry Larkin got inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame, which, if you don't know, it's very difficult to get into. Lots of sports, I think they just kind
Ask
of
Roger Clemens.
casual people.
All right.
Yeah.
Pete Rose.
It is going to be interesting
Oh.
how much of that generation just
All right.
never gets in. Because,
Yeah.
So it's weird. Barry Larkin got voted in with Ron Santo from the Cubs. It was like his last opportunity to get voted in, I think.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it was kind of cool. You know, you had Cubs fans and Reds fans there being civil, which is not often, but it was then. And we went to Cooperstown, watched Barry Larkin, who was also a University of Michigan baseball player, as well as a Cincinnati native from Moeller
Cincinnati
High
native,
School.
that's
Wow.
right.
Yeah.
Ticking a lot of those boxes.
Right.
Yeah.
And Chris
Yes.
Sabo.
Chris Sabo
Was
well.
also a Michigan
University of Michigan. Yep. And apparently should have made the national hockey team, Chris Sabo. But that 1990 Reds team, we could talk about that later. But yeah, Barry Larkin election to the Hall of Fame. If you ever get an opportunity to go to Cooperstown, it's just a beautiful town alone. Just a stunning, gorgeous part of the upstate of New York. But the whole community is just antique stores of classic baseball items. You walk into every place, it's like bobbleheads from the 40s, baseball cards, and like the whole town, that's what it is. It's kind of like walking into just a movie set way back in the 40s. It's just kind of in a time warp. It's beautiful. But yeah, obviously you'd mentioned a name I hope gets in. I don't know who else would get in from the Reds that hasn't at this point, but Joey Votto eventually someday, whenever he retires. Hopefully he gets selected. I think I will go that day as well.
Hey, this just in. Joey Votto still bangs.
Joey Votto still bangs. Got a good TikToker here too. But that was a good moment with my dad. My brother and myself were there, the three of us. That was cool. We still try to go to a ballpark every year. So those are fun moments with my dad. I would say two things that stick out to me. I think Michael Jordan leaving basketball after his dad had passed away, was murdered. Giving baseball a go as an honor to his dad, I thought was low-key one of the most beautiful honors you could give to his dad. I mean, head and shoulders the best player at that point even
Oh yeah.
of all time, potentially.
So you don't buy into the theory that he had to step away from basketball because David Stern was mad about his gambling addiction?
I mean, that could very well have been.
Okay.
But I do know he could have just done nothing.
Sure. Yeah. No, you're right.
So, yeah, I think that was kind of cool that his.
We're not saying that's true, by the way.
Oh, I know.
Allegedly. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, NBA has got its own bag of issues forever, in my personal opinion. But yeah, I think that was just really cool. And again, to quote Moneyball, how could you not be romantic about baseball? There's moments like that. Of course, he was never over a 200 hitter, never made it at a double-A ball. The Birmingham Barons, I believe, was the team that he played for.
Oh.
But he gave it a shot. Another one, this is an IndyCar shout-out, but a three-generation family, Andretti's, only one of which has ever won the Indianapolis 500, and only once. Mario Andretti, 1969. His son, Michael Andretti, was a superior IndyCar driver. He won the Cup, like the holistic Cup, multiple times. His dad never did that, but he never won the Indy 500. And then Marco, the grandson, in 2006, it was Marco's first run at the Indy 500, and the dad, it was his final year driving. And they were on the same team. The dad was the chief engineer, and he's got 4 cars that he's over, but he's also driving in it. And they finished second and third place. Michael Andretti never won it before. He was leading with 4 laps to go in the race. And then Marco passes him.
Actually.
And
Is that a
takes
Castroneves?
No, it was
victory?
unfortunately Sam Hornish freaking Jr., who no one likes. He went to NASCAR and everyone's like, great, good for you.
Okay.
So anyway, Sam Hornish Jr., another throwaway Penske driver. That's
Sell out.
I mean, we knew it was
In
coming.
the biz.
His long burns were down to here. We're like, he's going to go to NASCAR,
That's
and he
funny.
did.
That was Ann's favorite race. My wife's favorite race.
Oh, it was a great race.
Yeah, Marco. She was a big Marco fan.
Yeah, it was a fun thing. But I mean, seeing a dad and son compete, and like watching Mario, this grandpa, just like observe this all, it was just a cool moment. But those 2 things stuck out to me. Obviously, Kyle, the one you shared about the Olympic athlete, I think it was just a really cool thing. But yeah, good moments in sports, good dad moments personally and observationally in professional athletics. How about you, Brandon? What were yours?
Yeah, got a few. One was in 2005 when I graduated high school. Aging myself here.
Such an old man.
For my graduation present, England soccer team was playing Colombia in Giants Stadium, so New York, New Jersey,
Yeah.
East Rutherford, and my soccer coach and his son, who was a year older than me, so me, my dad, my soccer coach, and his son, who was one of my teammates, Michael, we made the trek out there,
Wow.
which is quite a drive, by the way,
That's big.
and watched England versus Colombia, not just England versus Colombia, David Beckham's first game ever on U.S. soil.
That's pretty crazy.
That's wild.
And England won 3-2.
Nice.
Michael Owen scored a
Yeah.
hat trick.
And
one of them
video
was
games.
Yeah,
98 World Cup, baby.
Great.
Love Michael Owen.
and David Beckham had one of his like iconic kind of crosses to him. And then
One
after,
might say he bent it.
yes, he did. He did bend it like himself. And then afterwards, they were trying to promote MLS, and it was the New York, New Jersey Metro Stars versus the Chicago Fire, and or DC United. I don't know. We stayed around for the first half of that, and then we were like, it's just like MLS has come a long way, which is great. But when you watch that quality,
Right.
and then you're like watching the MLS immediately afterwards, you're like, this is different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is different. But that was definitely like a big one.
Different's a nice word to say
Yeah.
by comparison to
Yeah,
watching England. And,
Exactly. Then we went to a soccer game at the Big House, right? Watching soccer in the Big House, Michigan Stadium. In
Was that Man U?
2018. Man U versus Liverpool.
Oh, nice.
And then in 2015, we had pretty good seats for Michigan Northwestern. Michigan was ranked 18th, and Northwestern was ranked 13th.
Wow.
And Michigan shut them out, 38-0.
That was a beautiful game. That
So that
started with Chesson, not Chesson.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Chesson's
Chesson
return
returning a
touchdown.
touchdown for the kickoff return for a touchdown.
Oh, you were at that game. That's the game where, was that like the 8th consecutive quarter of shutout defense?
Yes, yeah.
Mhm.
And the stadium was like going.
Yes, it was a rowdy place for us shellacking.
Well, I mean, Harbaugh, it was his first season.
Yeah.
We had all these
Yeah,
hopes
we
and
arrived.
dreams.
During that game.
Yeah.
it was a good day.
It was a good, yeah.
Oh,
Good
yeah.
day. And then I would say, outside of games I went to with my dad, Brett Favre's Monday Night Football performance after his father had just passed away. We weren't sure if he was going to play. The Packers really needed this game to stay in the playoff hunt. It was against the Raiders, and he hit his first 9 passes to start the game, and you were just like, okay, something special is happening. I remember watching this, and I asked my parents, can I stay up and watch this game? And they're like, yeah, okay. And he threw 2 touchdown passes in the first and second quarter, and for 311 yards in the first half.
Holy smokes.
And they were up 31-7 at half. He finished the night. They subbed him out in the fourth quarter. 22 of 30 for 399
That's
yards.
amazing. That's an amazing.
In
night.
3 quarters of football, and
400
then
yards passing.
the
on
embrace
22,
that he
yeah.
had with his wife, after the game, and obviously it was a big win for the Packers. But just seeing that kind of performance, it was very inspirational. You can YouTube that as well, youngins. It was a good one. It was a good one. So that's it for this Father's Day honorary special of the summer sessions with the 6-minute drill. We'll see you next time.